Hey guys, I'm so excited for today's video. So many of you have been asking me to review this product. This is the brand new Tom Ford Flawless Glow Foundation. It has an SPF 30. So we're going to be doing a full day wear test with this foundation. I'm going to be applying it with you guys. We'll be trying some different things. I have a sponge. We'll do a brush. I just looked it up. It actually suggested finger, brush, or sponge. So we'll go with sponge or brush. And I'll be doing a check-in, and then I'll give you my final thoughts at the end of the day. So if you're interested in learning more about this foundation, then just stay tuned. So here is the foundation. It comes in this frosted glass bottle. It has like a dropper applicator here, and it comes in the Soleil gold box. And I purchased it for $87 off of the Nordstrom site. And I actually just noticed on the Nordstrom site that it says that it's an exclusive to Nordstrom. I did not know that. So I have it in the shade 2.0 Buff, and I was just looking up on the Nordstrom site how they suggest applying it. So why don't I just read you what some of its claims are. It is a lightweight gel serum foundation, sheer to medium coverage, satin finish, and glows without adding shine. I think that sounds very nice. It has SPF. It is oil and alcohol free. It features a unique moisture complex of red fruit extracts, including watermelon, lychee seed, and apple. Together, they increase water held by skin's cells. The result is immediately supple and hydration-packed skin with a satin finish that glows without added shine. The buildable foundation gives skin a healthy-looking, fresh glow and provides protection too. Use the dropper, release 1 to 2 drops. Blend onto your face, finger, sponge, or brush. Apply more drops to build coverage. There's 1 ounce in here, everything free. Paraben free, sulfate free, phthalate free, formaldehyde free, mineral oil free, etc., etc. It is made in Belgium. And I just did a very, very kind of cursory look online to see if I could find another Estee Lauder company foundation that was similar to this, and I didn't. So let me know if you guys find a dupe for this, but I haven't, but I also didn't look that hard. So let me know down below in the comment section. There are definitely a decent amount of shades here. I don't know if all of them appear here on Nordstrom, because I know if something is out of stock, they just kind of stop listing it. So I don't know if there's more, but there is definitely a decent amount of shades. It goes basically from like 0.4, it looks like, up to 11, and there's a whole bunch of numbers in between, like 1.3, 1.1, 1.5. So I have 2.0 Buff. So hopefully this will work for me, but I purchased 2.0 Buff in the Soleil Glow Foundation Cushion Foundation, and that worked fine for me because it has like a relatively, well, light to medium coverage, but I usually use cream, and that's what I got in the Traceless Foundation Stick. That's also what I got in the Traceless Cushion Foundation. So because this is like a light to medium, I went with 2.0 Buff again, thinking maybe it was a little bit darker than cream, but now I'm not too sure. So anyway, I think it's probably close enough. It definitely looks very neutral, which is what works best on my skin tone, because I have a very warm forehead, a very cool kind of jawline, lower half of my face. So if I just go for neutral, it usually just kind of balances everything out and works fine. But this bottle is frosted, so it is a little bit difficult to get a true sense of the shade. Anyway, we'll figure it all out together. So we are getting a late start today, so I'm gonna have to stay up late to do a full day wear test, but it's about noon right now. So I will definitely keep this foundation on for at least 8 hours. I'll probably do my last check-in at around 8 or 9 right before I go to bed. Why don't we go ahead and get started? I'm gonna apply one side with a sponge, the other side with a brush, and we'll see which one we like better. So I should mention that I have dry, sensitive, eczema-prone skin, and I have mature skin. I am 45 years old. So that is what we're dealing with here. I have nothing on my skin other than my skincare. I didn't put SPF on. I usually put that on also before, but I skipped the SPF today because I'm actually not planning on being outside much today. So I didn't put any SPF on. So we're going to go straight in with this foundation with no primer. So it's got this dropper applicator, and why does it already look kind of messy? And here is the dropper. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of squeeze out whatever's in there. Drop the dropper in, let go, and pull out. So I'm gonna start with, they said 1 to 2 drops. So I'll do 1, 2. Here is the shade Buff on my hand, and you can also see the consistency. It's running, but not like running very quickly, but it is definitely on the thinner side. Gonna take my Sonia Kashuk sponge. People ask me all the time what sponge this is. This is the Sonia Kashuk sponge from Target, and I get a 2-pack for, I believe, $10, and they're great quality. They last a decent amount of time, and whenever Target's having a deal, I just stock up on these sponges. So let's just pounce this in. So I'm still a little bit congested, and I still have allergies or whatever, so I'm trying to see if this has I don't think it has a fragrance, but I'm trying to see if it has a smell at all. I don't really smell anything, but I don't trust myself right now because I don't really smell anything. I'm not sure, but I am going to look in the ingredients right now just to see if I see any kind of listing for fragrance. I don't see a listing for fragrance in here. Oh, but I do see a listing for lavender oil, which I do actually have a sensitivity to, but it seems actually pretty far down on the list. It's like in the middle there. So we'll see what happens. Keep pouncing here. So that is the 1 to 2 drops. I really don't see much coverage at all. I'm going to grab a little bit more here, and I'm going to use a brush because I fear the sponge is maybe just sucking up too much product. By the way, I did shake up the bottle before I started using it. It doesn't say anywhere to shake well, but when it comes to foundation, that's just a habit that I'm in. I'm always kind of shaking up my foundation. It's not something I always show, while I'm recording. I apologize, but I did want to mention that because this has a very thin consistency, and then especially with the SPF in there, I would suggest shaking it up, at least, like a little bit. So I am getting I'm getting whiffs of something, but when I try and actually sniff out this foundation, I can't smell anything. That's definitely my nose. So I think there is kind of a scent to this, but I don't think it's very strong. So there is one very light layer of it all over my face. I want to say this has like a sheer to light coverage at the moment. I don't see any oxidizing or anything. I don't think it's like changing color, getting darker, doing anything weird like that. But I'm definitely going to want to add a little bit more just to see if we can add a little bit of coverage and see if we can get this to like a light medium perhaps. So I'm going to pump out a lot more than 2. I pumped out maybe 5 drops there. All right, so that is basically 2 layers. I am definitely starting to see some coverage. Actually, you can see it right at my hairline where I did not blend it in very well. So definitely light medium coverage. It definitely does appear to be buildable. Again, I don't see any oxidizing. What I will say is that I think it's a lot more radiant than they're making it out to be. I assumed this kind of radiance when I read the name of this, Flawless Glow Foundation. It's part of the Soleil line, so I assumed it was going to have this bit of radiance. But then when I read the description, I thought, oh, okay, it's not going to be quite as radiant as I thought. Well, actually it is. It's definitely as radiant as I thought it was going to be. I want to say it has just as much, if not more, radiance than the Soleil Cushion Compact. It doesn't have nearly as much coverage as the Cushion Compact, but it is more radiant, I feel like. So I know a lot of you are probably going to ask me to compare this to the new Chanel Water Fresh tint. They're so different because I feel like that one has less coverage. And it definitely gives your skin a little bit of radiance, but it's a different kind of radiance. Like this definitely looks like I kind of just put like moisturizer all over my skin. The Chanel water it's like a fresh kind of glossy skin effect. The Chanel is actually very, very unique. So it's different. And this one has a bit more coverage, I want to say, than the Chanel. So it's sitting on my skin really, really beautifully. Doesn't pick up on any kind of like dry patches. I have definitely like a little bit of weird texture up here, not picking up on that at all. It's not doing anything weird around my nose or my mouth. That's like this part is definitely the oiliest part of my face, I think, like most people. And usually I'll see some weird stuff around there, either caking or breaking up, just weird things. I don't see any of that. So it's definitely sitting on my skin really nicely. I do also just want to say, I think this 2.0 buff matches fine. So I have been sitting here for about 5 minutes. I'm just waiting to see if maybe this radiance kind of settles down a little bit, like as the foundation, you know, kind of soaks into my skin or starts to evaporate a little bit, but I'm not really seeing that. It is really staying pretty glowy. So I'm going to apply some light makeup. I am not going to apply any concealer because, again, I usually like to see just, you know, how the foundation acts all on its own. I am going to try and not apply any powder because I'm very curious if this current level of glow is just going to get worse. Sometimes it gets better. I'm just really curious how it's going to play out throughout the day. So I'm not going to powder. So that means basically I'm not going to put that much makeup on. But I am going to film some other videos today. So I'll probably put on some cheek products and some eye products just so I don't look so stark. But I'm really going to try and keep it minimal so we can get a really good sense of this foundation. So again, it's about 12, now it's about 12:30. So I will be back probably around 4 or 5 o'clock to do my first check-in, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, it is my first check-in and it's about 5:15. I have been busy actually organizing my makeup collection. I am going to show you guys when it's all done what it looks like. I jumped on the bandwagon and bought some of those clear like shoe box drawers, the ones I saw. I think Raw Beauty Christie's using them, but I think Desi Perkins was the one that made them like super popular or whatever. So I got a bunch of those. Anyway, we'll get into it when I show you my organization, since I just went through all of that decluttering. I'm really excited. It's nice to kind of go through everything and see everything look all pretty and in its place. So that's what I've been doing all day. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. It's 5:15, so I've had this makeup on for over 5 hours now. So all I have on is some cream blush. I have the Tom Ford Paradiso cream blush. I forgot how beautiful this is. I love this cream blush. So I have that kind of dabbed on my cheeks very lightly. And I have some of the new Chanel Blurry Green Quad on. I think you guys just saw that video yesterday. So anyway, that is what I have on my lids. And then I have a little bit of the new Tom Ford Lip Spark in Thrust on my lips. Eyebrow gel. That's it. That's all I have on my face. So I have no concealer, no powder, no bronzer, no highlight, no nothing. So any kind of sheen that you see on my skin is fully from this foundation. As a dry skin, middle-aged woman, I really, really like this glow that it's giving me. It's just like a really nice, healthy kind of glow. It's almost like as if I just put the foundation down and it hasn't like set all the way. Because to me, you guys may have a different opinion, but to me, I don't think it looks oily per se because it's not that shiny. It's sort of like a high satin shine. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I just think it looks really healthy and it's just short of it actually looking very oily. So I am enjoying the finish of this foundation, but I will say that it has gotten a little bit more glowy over the past 5 hours. So what I'm trying to say is it's glowier now than when I first applied it. In terms of coverage, again, I put on those 2 layers because that first layer I felt like there was like nothing. I felt like I couldn't see it really at all. The second layer, I feel like now that it has like settled into my skin, I really feel like I can see more coverage now that it's been on my skin a little bit longer, which is very interesting. So I do feel like my skin looks a little bit more, you know, perfected than it did when I first applied it. I just think it's wearing great. Everything looks really, really smooth. I'm really enjoying this foundation. You know, when I first put it on, I was like, it's okay. You know, like it looks nice. I like it a lot more right now than I did 5 hours ago. I will be back probably in about 3 or 4 hours to do my final check-in and give you my final thoughts. So I will see you then. Hey guys, it's about 8 o'clock at night, so I've had this makeup on for about 8 hours now. So I was just taking a close look and I feel like this foundation has crossed over from looking glowy into looking a little bit greasy right around here on my face. So I'm going to do a close-up now and we'll pan down from my forehead to my chin. So my forehead is definitely looking a little bit shiny, and around my nose here, I think it's looking a little bit greasy. And then even around my mouth area, I feel like it's starting to look a little, I don't know, like sweaty. I feel like you can see a little bit of the redness around my nose, and I have not been blowing my nose, thankfully. So this is just kind of natural fading. And other than that, I don't really see that much fading. I feel like the foundation has actually stayed put on the rest of my face. I think the coverage is still there, but it's the intense glowiness that is concerning me. So for someone with extremely dry skin, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again, it's not that big of a deal for me. The fact that I look kind of greasy is like welcome. You know, I really don't mind that. I have dry skin, so it's really hard for me to say, but my guess would be that if you have normal to oily skin, that your skin is going to look pretty oily by the end of the day. And if you have played with this foundation and you do have oilier skin than I do, definitely let us know how it worked out for you down below. I'm really curious to hear whether or not this would work for someone with normal to oily skin. So for me, this foundation is a big thumbs up. Again, dry skin, I like the shininess, but if you don't like a glow, if you don't have dry skin, I just don't know that this is for you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you, but I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments section. I'm sure I forgot to mention something, but I like this foundation. I'm happy I have it. I am definitely going to be using this again. No hesitation. So yeah, leave me any of your questions down below in the comments section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video.